Hey guys, Dr. Matt here, back in for another Wellness Wednesday. Today I want to review some of the exercises that you should look to avoid this year. Many of us are starting our New Year's resolutions and want to get back into the gym. So let's review some exercises that I would never do in the gym. First one is going through the windmill motion, and I think people who do this exercise more so to warm up or stretch, but it kind of looks like this. So we're bending and then twisting. And that's what we want to avoid. Excessive bending of our spine, so excessive rounding of that low back. And then even once that back is rounded, now we're throwing a twist into it. So that can just be really hard on that low back, hard on those discs, as we're just putting a lot of force and pressure into them and then starting to shear that joint. So another exercise that also tends to flex that low back and then adds twist is doing stuff like V-sits. So it kind of looks like this, and then we're twisting with that. So that's another thing we want to look to avoid. Also, full sit-ups. So laying down, and then wanting to come all the way up. Again, the idea here is we're trying to minimize or avoid rounding that spine repetitively and loading those discs. Another common exercise too that people like to do is for the triceps, chin dips. So whether that's edge of a chair, couch or bench, going like this, and then bending down with the idea of trying to work out those triceps. But when we do that, as you can see, what I'm doing is putting a lot of pressure onto the shoulder joint. I'm even starting to impinge it, so kind of roll it in on itself and pinch down on that joint. Because when we get here, a lot of that pressure and everything is going into the front of our shoulders. So that's one we want to look to avoid. There's better ways to work out the triceps, which we'll talk about in another video, than doing those chin dips. Another shoulder exercise too that I would look to avoid is the shoulder press with the bar behind the head as such, and then with lifting with this motion, because when we do that, our neck usually has to crane forward, and we're just getting a lot of awkward pressure, especially onto that transition from that neck to that mid back. So if I go from the side view here, we'll have that bar behind the shoulders, but usually it forces us to have our head dip forward, and we don't want to do that with our neck. Another thing too we want to be wary of is doing wide base push-ups, because commonly when we do that, we have to get our arms way out here, so really wing our arms and shoulders out. And then again, we're getting that impingement onto that shoulder, which we're looking to avoid, and then we're putting pressure and tension into that joint. So with those push-ups, we want to keep things close, compact, into a more safe and neutral position for yourself. And last here but not least is a very common thing in most gyms is weight equipment or weight machines that do only one thing, such as leg extensions. You've seen this where you're sitting down and you've got your feet in the straps there, and then we're just lifting into this motion. So people like these because it's really working out that quad. You can feel it, but we're also putting a lot of tension into a joint, and we're only doing one motion, one function. So when throughout the day are you ever doing this motion? I'd recommend doing exercises that incorporate different parts of the body that are using a bunch of different muscles and is functional for you. So something that kind of mimics what you do day-to-day life. So I hope you guys found this helpful. We'll plan to have another video that maybe gives an alternative to some of these exercises that we showed you today. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. We'll see you next time.
Everybody's moving, everybody's moving, everybody's moving, 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 moving. Everybody's moving, everybody's moving.